Hello. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, welcome to today's full day of eating. It's going to be my first one back on competition prep. Now today what we're actually going to do is train fasted, which means I don't have any food inside my system. And I'll go through my rationale, if it's optimal for hypertrophy / gains, and how to set up your nutrition or hydration if you train fasted to maximize gains. Anyway, let's go. Welcome to the training segment of this vlog. Now, number one, first and foremost, welcome to Le Coach Gym. Now, this is my second gym, so I actually have a membership here. The Cybex Museum, the Cybex Mecca. It's packed full of absolutely awesome equipment, and I'm very excited to train here, make gains here, etc., etc. But you know, I think I spoke about this in a previous vlog. Sometimes you just need like that mental kind of thing to get you away from your normal gym. If you're in the same gym over and over and over again, you just kind of get a little bit bored of the same equipment, the same environment, etc. When you go into something like this, it's just like your brain is just like, what the hell is going on? So we're actually going to train here on the Friday, the Saturday, and then like maybe spontaneously in the week sometime. But when time is limited, I'll just go to the one that's down the road. When time is a little bit more free, I will go to Milton, which is about 20 minutes away from me, and go and train at the Cybex Mecca. It's very cool. Anyway, the topic of this little voiceover here, which I realise I haven't done a voiceover in a while, but the topic of the voiceover is essentially going over training fasted. Now, I prefer, hand on heart, I prefer training when I have food in my system, mainly from the fact that I just feel stronger. But as established, sometimes you don't have that much time, right? And it's okay to admit that. But sometimes you don't have that much time, so you can train in the morning, or you just prefer training in the morning and you kind of want to know how to train fasted. Now, number one thing to consider is that when you wake up and you train, you aren't running off empty, right? You are going to have food in your system. A lot of the times people assume that when they eat food, they're just going to use that food. That's not the case. Again, I think we established this in a couple of vlogs back, but basically saying that like a rest day, it needs to set up your next day, right? Again here, like this session is fueled by my last day, right? So what I will do is basically backload a lot of my carbohydrates that day, especially if it's a rest day. I will backload a lot of my calories, and then I will eat my calories, and then the next day, the carbohydrates are fueling this workout. And that's basically all I'll do. So when I say I'm training fasted, technically I am training fasted. Technically, if you're being panicky, technically if you're being kind of really anal, am I going to say anal on a vlog? Yes. Technically, like if you're being a bit anal, I do have EAA, so technically I'm not training fasted, and we can touch on that like supplementation in a minute. But if I'm training fasted, that like I just make sure my kind of hydration is on point. Again, I make sure my previous day's food is absolutely on point, and then it seems to be okay. Again, from the supplementation standpoint, we could look at like EAAs and Clearway and things like of this ilk, just to spike MPS. Now EAAs. They're not that great. If I was to say, look, I recommend you this to train in the AM, I recommend you this supplement to take, one supplement, it would be like a Clearway just to spike MPS. Muscle protein synthesis, that is. I don't think EAA does it that well. However, I just had a tub, so that's what I used here. But again, like this comes down to preference. If you train in the AM and you like having food in your system, then you can do that. I personally don't. I just prefer to kind of have a lot of my calories at night. So I prefer to kind of train. I'll then eat my calorie or eat some calories, and then I'll just continue on my day and then have lots of food in the nighttime, especially in a fat loss phase, right? But again, it's like personal preference. Like if you wake up very, 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 very hungry, then obviously eat your calories, like eat food, right? Eat food before you train. If, for me, you wake up and you're just like, I'm just not that hungry, right? Then you can do this. You can train fasted. Again, yesterday's food is fueling today's session. right? And I'm going to do the same tomorrow, right? I'm going to eat a lot of my food. I'm going to backload a lot of my food later on. And then what I'm going to do is then train in the AM again tomorrow. I'm going to train at the commercial gym though, but I do believe we have push, which would be very exciting. This is actually my first workout back from the bronze gym. So it's actually like the first session, and it was at like an absolute worldy gym. And then tomorrow we have chest, which should be very interesting. I expect a lot of DOMs from that session, but yeah, I expect a lot of DOMs from this session. To be fair, I can kind of feel it a little bit in my back now. And here's a physique shot of my physique. Here's a physique shot of my physique, but here's a physique shot. Basically, we have to. I'm officially 19 weeks out now, which is very daunting. Very exciting though. So we've obviously jumped back into prep now. So I was in a massing phase. I did that food challenge, and now I'm officially back in prep. But basically, they changed, or the federation that I am going with have actually changed their poses. So we're doing things like front double bicep, back double bicep, which is very unusual for men's physique, but yeah, it's just adjusting. I was just learning like the posing, because obviously I'm competing for the first time. I was just learning the posing, then all of a sudden they changed it, which is fantastic. But we'll get there. But yeah, anyway, back to watching me eat. Or not back to watching me eat. You can watch me eat because I haven't eaten, because we've already established we're training fasted. Peace and love. Welcome back to the house, where we are going to introduce meal uno. Very good. It is the coconut ice cream ghost protein, and I was going to have it with a squares bar, but then I realised I don't have squares bar, so I'm just going to have that. I'm going to save some carbohydrates for later on in the day. Really, I should have some carbohydrates post-workout, but I'm feeling good. I feel the leaner I get, I feel that I need some carbohydrates pretty immediately. Right now, not too bad. And again, I tend to really like backloading my carbohydrates. So when I get to the back end of the day, I enjoy a nice big meal and actually feel full, rather than having like little small meals throughout the day. I'd rather have tiny portions and then big portions. Sick. Anyway, I'm gonna make this. So, first minute of the day also proved that I didn't get that in. I did get it in, that's why. Anyway, first minute of the day, I'll put the macros on screen, but fairly easy. Just a nice little protein hit to spike MPS. MPS. Because we have to spike MPS. Lord knows what would we do without spiking MPS. I always do that. Always do that post-workout, is I'll just go outside and sip my protein, because it helps with the electrons running through my body and causes good recovery. I'm just bullshitting. That's most of the fitness industry, by the way. It's just bullshit. Just finished up the edit for the last vlog. If you haven't already checked that out, go check that out. Maybe after this. But anyway, just finished that up, and I'm feeling very hungry, so we're gonna go and get something to eat. Hey, look. We are back from Le Shop. We bought a few things. Most notably, we bought some lunch, and other notably, hello Natalie, we have bought some dinner, which I'll go through in a minute. But one cool pickup is carrot and parsnip mash, because the tea tonight does contain quite a lot of fat and does contain quite a lot of carbohydrates, so I thought I would limit carbs and limit fats during the day today, and that's quite a nice little thing. One thing I do hear about full days of eating is that you have to get all the angles and stuff with the camera, but you're really, really hungry at the same time, especially in a fat loss phase. So, but anyway, sounds like I'm moaning. I am moaning. Beautiful. For that whole carrot mash, that was, so it's 400 grams. The whole carrot mash was 212 calories. And the whole meal comes out to 41 grams of protein, 14 fat, and around 47 grams of carbohydrates. And that actually leaves me with 130 grams of protein, it leaves me with 270 grams of carbs, and it leaves me with about 32 grams of fat. Since the last vlog, actually, I did actually increase my fat intake. So I normally shoot for around like 30 grams. I'm actually shooting for like 50 to 60 grams. So that intuitive vlog, I've taken something from it, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna go and eat this. I've also got this. Also, I don't get this like the mega monster. You literally get like 50 more milliliters. It's not mega. Just like a shot. This is the meal that we've been savouring. It is the chicken tikka masala, right? But basically, you could have a chicken. Basically, all my meals are chicken with rice in some sort of variation, whether that's chicken rice and something, or chicken with sauce and rice. Very easy. But I was actually meant to have a meal before this. I was meant to have 3 meals, then I have this, but I wasn't actually that hungry, plus I low-key forgot to eat, which makes no never minds, because all I'll do is just have more food to play with later on, which is good. That's how you know you completed a day in prep, because if you forget a meal, then you're pretty much completed the day, right? Because you're like, oh, I've just got a lot of food to play with later on. Isn't that right, Natalie? Yeah. So yeah. Also, we hit town up. We hit town and we bought some new knives. I know you probably don't care that we bought new knives, but you'll never know or appreciate the feeling when you have blunt knives and then you switch to a new knife. That's stuff of dreams, isn't it, Nat? You dream about new knives, don't you?
No.
I do. See, a really sick trick is you've got all this, like, you've got pretty much half of it stuck, right? You just put warm water in it, you put the lid on. Look at that. Chef Ramsay is back. Again, we work off convenience and results. That is my motto. So, pink rice. Ain't nobody got time for normal rice. See what Nat did there? You see this for all the young brethrens out there, all the people with partners. I have to say partners because it's 2021, so you have to be politically correct. But all we do with this meal is we have a jar. Instead of being really, really picky with like weighing out stuff, after what we do is just one for me, one for Nat, or what Nat does is one for me, one for Nat, one for me, one for Nat. And then what I will do on my MyFitnessPal is actually over track. So I've tracked it as, so the jar itself is 400 milliliters. I've actually tracked it as 300 milliliters. So I've basically just given myself leeway just because it has a little bit higher calories. So if Nat does kind of put a bit more on my plate, it doesn't matter because I've already over tracked it. So that is what you do. Anyway, the macros for this meal are 135 exactly grams of carbohydrates. We have 25.4 grams of fat and 65.4 grams of protein, which means I've got quite a lot of calories to eat after this. Anyway, we're gonna enjoy this. We are watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine at the minute. Peace. I'm not even gonna front. I did spill like half the curry down my top, so I had to change top. So full disclosure, full transparency, that's what YouTube's about. But that was meal number 4. That's another takeaway that I did have from the last vlog. I will divert you to that vlog after this, but again, I did learn a lot about myself. So only 4 meals today, and we did have just the whey. We had the Cocoa Pops, and we also had a Milky Bar. And we also had a dairy milk because we've increased the fats. And the macros for the meal are 97.1 grams of carbs, it is 16.2 grams of fat and 62 grams of protein. Delicious. So I am actually training tomorrow, and what I'm doing is actively fueling myself for that session. So I'm actively backloading my carbohydrates. I did actually drink a lot in this day as well, so I did actually drink a lot from about 5 till about 9:30, which is now. So within that time I've already had about 4 litres, and then I'm just going to make sure I sleep like a little leopard. But apart from that, there's nothing really complex about training fast. There's just a couple of key things that I would recommend. Number 1 is that as long as you have some sort of protein after your workout, when you're training fasted, you're fine. You could argue that you could have some carbohydrates as well to be finer. Again, make sure your hydration is pretty decent, so that's the day before and even during that session. So you can take like 1 or 2 liters in that session as well. And again, prepare the day before. It's just very, very simple. Try not to overcomplicate things, and most importantly, trial these. So if you want to trial training fasted, trial it. Again, 1 session of a trial to see if you like it isn't going to do that much relative to your whole training career. So try it. If you don't like it, then don't do it anymore. But if you try it and like it, hey, that's another tool for your arsenal. It's easy, right? Anyway, the next vlog is going to be out in 5 days. It's going to be the one thing that is stopping you from getting jacked. And I wonder what that'll be. I'll also divert you to the former vlog where I tried intuitive eating for 7 days. In any case, make sure you like, you share, and you subscribe, and I'll see you in 5 days.